All right, welcome to this episode of Star Trek Reliant. I am your host, Duncan Idaho, for this evening. I was going to say fiendish pleasures and ghoulish delights, but we're not actually going that way with tonight's theming. What I can offer you instead is our full cast of characters for tonight. We are joined by Jorog, our security officer.
Hello everyone, Chorog here, resident security specialist, asset relocation specialist, and tardigrade wrangler.
We have D.B. Wells, our temporal investigations incident waiting to happen.
Yeah, can I get and the side of, yeah, you got that? Sure.
A number 12.
Yeah, you know what I like.
Next up, we have our ship's counselor and chaplain of the All Faiths Chapel, and also bartender, but not in the exact same role, Grumpy Old Nord playing Waitley and Grimnir.
Hello.
We have con officer Kara Junrani.
Actually, I want to see that now. Since we've kind of established that Waitley is a bit evil, I just want to see him prescribe beer and alcohol to people. Yeah, just drink to forget it. You'll be fine.
You've got a problem with substance abuse. What you need is to burn it through your system. Here's a vodka. We've got our chief medical officer and XO, Eli O'Connor.
I'm also an alcoholic and the best gambler you'll ever see. I wouldn't say gambling addict, because addict would imply that I'm losing.
We have also martial arts shoe specialist. That's on your character sheet now, right? The shoes?
It is not on my sheet. I gotta add that to my sheet. Sorry, my Discord just froze up there for a second.
Oh, no worries. We also have with us tonight Oakley and Chet here, who will be providing beep-boop noises. Beep-boop. And lastly, we have our chief engineer, Rick Tier.
Yes, I have a mini-me version of me running around.
Excellent. We begin with the USS Reliant on an exploration cruise, flying through space in a general, lackadaisical warp cruising speed. Camera pans around the ship to then view, a little scene going on inside sickbay, or inside the wildlife biology lab, where a cute little lizard creature is having its physical to make sure it's all tumbly-wumbly and happy.
Well, I guess I passed for what's a veterinarian on this ship. Let me take a look-see.
It's a lizard!
Thank you, John. I knew that part.
Don salutes.
Yes, so I'm sort of planning on getting a terrarium set up in the engineering room, and I sort of need to know the exact details of what it needs before I can, set the requirements for the challenge.
I'm kind of surprised that the guy at the pet store didn't give you that. I thought you were coming to me for a general health checkup.
Well, we've got general details, but, it's always good to double-check with a trusted source.
Well, I'm not exactly certain what we're dealing with completely, but I will go ahead and tell you that from what I can tell, it basically seems similar to a Terran bearded dragon, which means, at least as far as cold-blooded pets go, this is going to be fairly hardy. Still, you're going to have to watch the moisture levels and the temperature levels, quite well. You're going to need a warmer area for basking and digestion, and a cooler area for resting and thermoregulation. And just looking over LJ here, he seems perfectly fine and healthy to me.
All right, then I have a basis to go on. Thank you, Kara.
You're welcome. For substrate, you might want to try moss. I don't know. Regular dirt might work. It depends on behavior. You'll have to see what he's like and whether he wants to dig and hide under things or what he's going to do. But if you have any problems, come on back and I'll do the best I can for you.
Well, the aim is to try and provide various options and stimulations. Dirt ground, some stonework, some hidey holes, and all sorts of things.
Yeah, but you never know what's going to stick. We also used to do all kinds of stuff for the sheep when I was, back on the farm. We had one sheep, who enjoyed a great deal of the puzzle toys. And then we had another sheep who would just stare at them, unsure of what the purpose was.
That's what why until we get a sense of who LJ is, spread a wide net.
Right, so anyway, I would go ahead and say, larger is always better, but you probably want at least, let's see, this guy is bigger than I normally estimate. I'd say you probably want at least 4 cubic feet for him. And if you can do that with multiple levels or a larger area, that's even better.
I've got some ideas. Just for that, give me an insight check.
Okay. I might as well just fail this, but let's see here. Her insight isn't that bad, I guess.
I will spend 2 threats to make your complication range 18.
That's fine. I guess this would be
Command.
Insight command.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have a clue. In fact, she's probably got some sort of wrong idea that Duncan has been thinking of.
The lizard isn't a lizard at all, but a monotremes. Mammal-like reptile in actual fact, Kara thinks.
Okay, I don't know how she would get that from reading Rick wrong, though.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was an LJ scan.
No, this was her trying to figure out what Rick was meaning when he said he had plans.
Oh, okay. You think he's going to, have some kind of sore ritual to officially adopt him into his family?
Kara just kind of looks at Rick and is just like, yeah, go right ahead.
Alright, then I shall start with the plans, then.
Right.
And with that, he'll just sort of start scratching the top of LJ's head and carry him off back to engineering.
Kara just kind of cleans up the biology lab and heads for the bridge, not really wondering how she got this job, but wondering if maybe they should get another biologist.
Setsa, meanwhile, is in the corner, processing data. Sensor scans.
One in the biology room, I guess?
Yeah, basically using the computers there. She also likes the biology room.
Kara just gives her a wave. Anything interesting going on, Setsa?
No, not really. Just processing more commentary data, because that's all we're really picking up out here.
Yay. Sounds like fun. I'm gonna go back to the bridge and fly a massive starship around space, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'd say fly us closer to Commons, but I don't really, I don't think it would help.
I'll go nudge one for you. It'll be fun.
Alright, well, fun.
Narrator. Later that day, Kara nudged a comet, changing its orbit and sending it crashing into an M-class world 300,000 years later.
Sir Isaac Newton is the deadliest son of a bitch in space.
Indeed. We then cut over to Club 42. Forget which one we have on occasion. So we go to Club 42, where various people are having some relaxing meals and drinks and things between shifts.
Chorog walks in. He's looking to have his meal for the day. Goes over the replicator and orders some spicy curry for the glory of the Nausicaan Empire. He had heard about spicy curry and wanted to see if he could test his mettle with it. So the computer bleeps and a yellow mass appears on the plate. Is that what all the excitement's about? Chorog picks up his plate and heads over to the nearest table. He picks up a knife and fork and starts eating it. It is rather potent, rather hot. But this never stopped Chorog before, so he just engulfs the entire mass in 3 massive bites. What's all the fuss about? This isn't all that... Ooh. All of a sudden, Chorog's stomach gets all the rumbles, shakes, and grumbles. Oh, I'm not liking this. This isn't good. Chorog goes to get up and lets out the biggest, loudest belch anyone's ever heard. It echoes throughout the club and rattles all of the bottles on Grimner's bar. This is a ear-splitting belch, like no one's ever heard.
Graves slowly turns to Chorog.
I guess that didn't agree with me all that well.
That's perhaps an understatement. You all right over there?
Chorog lets out another shorter aftershock. I think I'm going to be fine now.
Eli is in a booth, having his lunch, looking over.
Oh, what are you looking at? Go on with your meals. Ain't you never seen a guy
Graves.
belch before?
Not like that in a while. He slowly turns back to the bar.
You need a doctor, buddy?
No, I need a drink. Oh,
What did you eat?
I tried some of this thing they call spicy curry. I want to see
Oh,
if
I'm having some curry right now. I got a lamb vindaloo.
I don't know what this was. It was bright yellow, and it was good going down, but good lord, I did not agree.
Wait, you're telling me you the big bad warrior cannot handle curry?
I've never had curry before, so I'm not used to it.
I mean that's fair, but wow.
Probably didn't agree with that roe-cake blood pie I had for dessert last night.
I was thinking it'd be too hot for you if that's the case. So you're just having stomach issues. Like if you use spice, I would just say drink some milk. But
Oh, milk. Trog gingerly heads over to the bar. Hey, Grimnir, give me some of that rum. I need something to kill this taste.
oh, that's not good.
Grimnir comes out from the back room where he was rustling around doing stuff, and he says, "But you need a drink? Ah, I got just the thing for you. Give me a minute. I got a new batch of meat I've been working on."
Perfect.
He goes back to the back, and he comes out with a bottle, sets it down in front of him. He says, I literally just bottled this. I haven't come up with any labels for it, but it's something new. You might like it. Give it a try."
Oh, good. I need something to kill this stomach taste from that curry. Trog takes a good swig from the bottle. Hey, this ain't half bad. What is this?
Banana habanero.
Ooh, okay.
Which,
Trog takes another good hard swig and feels his stomach rumbling again. He's like, oh, I better go.
out of character, I had to throw that in because I had a friend years ago who made their own mead, and one of their favorites was actually banana habanero. So I was like, okay, yeah, Grimnir is giving him that right now.
Alcohol makes spiciness worse.
Trog, he leaves and he's probably 10 steps out the door, and here it comes, yet another one of these loud, just bellowing belches from the hallway. I mean,
Up on the bridge, there's a shudder as the bridge crew looks around. Did something just hit us?
Graves sighs, hops up, and is like, all right, well, back at it. Eli, let me know if Chorog needs medical leave.
I think he'll be fine. He's just gotta work it off.
All right.
no sooner as he says that, you can hear another one, but the doors rattle on the club.
I mean, at this point, we're maybe pushing a structural integrity fields.
I mean, kind of tempted to call like Daystrom or something. This doesn't seem normal.
All right. Want to take shelter on the bridge?
Please, let's go. Eli finishes up the rest of his lamb vindaloo.
All right. Eli and Graves arrive on the bridge of the starship Reliant. It's a quiet day. Graves looks around. Looks to Kara. We still have both both nacelles.
Yeah, I think so. I've been trying to figure out what hit us. Just every once in a while, the ship vibrates like crazy.
That's Chorog.
What?
We think.
It's beyond my medical understanding of how this is even possible.
I just...
All right.
Yeah, but, you know
All
what?
right.
Never mind.
At this moment, Kara, I want you to do a science insight roll with ship assistance. I will do the ship.
One success for Kara.
I thought I'd be... Oh, here we go. Gilbert, why you fail me? There we go. Also, one success for the ship. Wasn't letting me just roll one dice. Yeah, so, Kara, you've got a beep on sensors.
Hey, we've got something on sensors here. This might not be the best time for us to worry about, whatever's going on below decks.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we have? And Kara's sensor reading shows that they have detected a low warp signature.
Low-speed warp signature, sir.
Location. And this would also be a, point to roll another insight, science roll.
Complication, success.
And a success as well. So, Kara, you detect that there is a small vessel achieving warp in a nearby system. However, your sensor readings show that it is an unmanned craft, possibly a missile.
Alright, looks like we've got a small craft neighboring system. Unmanned, though. I don't know. Missile?
Quite possibly. All right, let's
Could
go
be
ahead
a
and check it
throwaway.
out just in case. All that too.
I
let's
swear
check
to
it out in
God, if we
case
find
someone-
another set of civilizations nuking each other.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. Kara, set a course high warp.
Aye, Captain.
The USS Reliant zips into warp and rather quickly comes upon the system in question. It's a, well, not too surprising. Just a second, I'm looking for something right now in my reference sheets, but it's a small M-class, or system of worlds, M-class planet, and a bunch of other miscellaneous planets as well in the system. You bring up the vessel in question. And on sensors, this is what you got on the main view screen now.
Can't decide, sir, if it looks more like a drill or a top.
Quite ornate. I mean, it's quite the statement if someone's using that to nuke someone else.
That's a lot of gold.
Is that even
Yeah.
gold?
Oh, tell. Let's see. Let's do another scan of the thing.
You do know I'm not a scientist, right?
Yeah, Sense is downstairs though, and we've got Larissa on the bridge.
I can do a scan.
What about D.B. Wells?
All right.
Get him up here. He's a scientist.
He didn't show up for his shift. I have inserted moral complication for DB out of nowhere. Yeah, the DM. Okay, anyway. On your science roll, that will just be another insight science.
Okay, me or Eli?
I'll do it.
Eli. Yeah. A little variation here.
Good.
I
My insight's
volunteered
terrible.
for it. Alice, I gotta find my actual sheet. Where's it go?
Okay, we got a success from the ship.
So, insight science.
2 successes! Well, you can determine at this range that it is not an unmanned ship. The thing looks to be a very simple warp craft with one single occupant.
Oh, it's their Phoenix. That's adorable.
Oh. We're looking at a first contact, potentially?
I believe so we are, sir.
Alright, any chance we can hail it?
Communications might be primitive for them.
I'll ping him on everything, including radio waves.
You have radio?
We've got a deflector. We can make any kind of wave you want.
So, this might be something you want to involve Rick Tier on.
Is it bad my first idea was to put a rotisserie chicken and use microwaves to see how fast it'll cook?
Anyway, Kara goes ahead and just kind of beeps down to, engineering and asks Rick if they can help boost the communications array across a wider spectrum. We got no idea what this guy is using, so whatever you can give me will work.
So, what potential for lasers, potential for light?
Let's stick to
The one
think...
thing
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the bone I'll give you is that you are detecting radio transmissions from the ship.
Let's not.
They're complex enough, and they're relatively complex too.
Let's not go with laser communications at this particular point. They might perceive that as some sort of rangefinder or a threat.
All right. Well, send me the details down of whatever you've got scan of the ship, whatever readings you're getting of any potential communications that may be going to or from, and I will start working on calibrating.
Yeah, sending down the data I got.
You send down the data, and now insight engineering roll for Rick. Ship can assist as well as the engineering team.
Okay. Insight is going to be that. We don't have any momentum. I don't think any of my focuses apply, so it's just going to be a straight roll. 4 plus a roll from the ship.
Alright, so the roll from the ship is... Yeah, let's go ahead with this. I had an image queued up, but... 2 successes from the ship as well. With the information that you have, you actually work out that that the ship in question is using a basically streamed video signal that they're broadcasting from their ship back to the M-class planet in the system. It's taking a little while, though. I mean, it's not a instantaneous communication method, of course. So it's basically, it seems like it's a log, and you're able to feed that information to the Universal Translator. You'll basically be able to call this guy on his own frequencies. And of course, scan data to the ship allows you to figure out, okay, what's the transmission system, so on and so forth. So yeah, you could basically just ping him.
I'm having flashbacks to Flash Gordon now. We have received the signal. Lock on to the transmission.
Beep.
So in engineering, there's this main computer screen that's got the live broadcast. At first, it's like just sort of unusual sounds of these languages as one by one words coming to the translator, and it goes from this unintelligible mess to an actual report of the logs. So he's able to get that ready and taps his combat chair. Kara, Victor Kara.
You got Kara here. What you need?
Well, I've been able to tap into the signal that's going down. It seems to be a video log of the pilot's experiences. Being able to pass everything into the Universal Translator, so that should be right for communications. I've got the frequency, the bandwidth, the range of the signals. So I've got a little configuration set up that I'm just going to be sending you. So first contact can be made.
Goody gumdrops. I will let the captain know that he can say hi anytime he likes. Kara basically just turns in her chair and gives a quick report to the captain.
All right, excellent. Let's take a listen to what this guy is broadcasting first.
Well, in that case, I hope it's nothing personal. Kara just pipes it in.
So, what you see is a wizened looking old man, white hair, pale skin, bit of gray, and some prominent ears. The ship itself looks relatively sophisticated. The man is wearing a bit of a flight suit with a bronze vest of pretty intricate detail. The man says, yes, the launch was a success, but I fear the launch facility has been compromised. Well, for the sake of science and all that, I, of course, have no way of getting back to our precious homeworld, but shall endeavor for as long as I can, break in the warp barrier, and see what's on the other side. Yes, for all Dwemer, I will do this. And culmination of a life's work.
Okay, first off, before we get off on probably the big bombshell there, I'm just gonna state, the fuck, a one-way mission?
You'll see. You'll see.
Harsh.
Yeah.
That's why they use an old man.
Well, it may have not been planned that way. The mentioning about what's happened to the launch facility. But yes, we have a Dwemer. And for those in the know, you know. For those in the don't, hey, we got some elves. Anyway.
My immediate thought also is, now that you mentioned the launch facility, I'm like, yes, SpaceX.
God damn it.
It's just a crater. Yes. So, yeah, Graves says, well, I guess we can actually help him with his one-way trip here, since, we can not let him die in a vacuum of space, but I suppose we should ask first. Try to patch us through.
Aye, sir. Getting us on the right frequency. He should be able to receive, so just say whatever you want to say. I don't think there's, any sort of signal to let him know. I don't think there's, a doorbell here.
So, before Graves can speak, you just hear, Jax, you're sending me a message. No, my mind's made up. Can I not bring the rocket back at this point? And, for as good of a lab assistant as you are, well, you've been a terrible, terrible, orator. It's alright. That is you. Go forth, be yourself, do wonderful analyses. And Graves just sort of okay, sir, like to offer something else than your current situation is in. Do you have any visual systems? And man blinks. Yes, I have many visual systems. This was supposed to be an observatory for raking the commissary veil. Let's see. There's that, and he sort of grows still for a moment. It's like, that is a ship. You are not Dwemer. It says, no, indeed none. We're also having a real-time our conversation right now. Yes, should have known. You're aliens. There's not. It's like, yeah, that's oddly long and short of it. You achieved warp flight, and we've come to say hello. Man, that takes a deep breath. And the sacrifices were all worth it. The honor of the Dwemer, our home, and my life.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and break in here for the captain and just say that we can help you get home. That's not a problem.
Oh, you can? Didn't really want to die out here, but you really couldn't land the ship anymore.
I was gonna say, that'd be a little harsh to just let you go flying off from the unknown. Anyway, I'd better let the captain talk.
Yeah, so we have a few ways of bringing you on board this ship. It's quite a bit larger than yours. We have instantaneous transportation. We could bring you into one of our small craft bays. And yeah, just begin the process of saying hello between people. And says, yes.
We could also tractor beam them back into orbit.
No. Your ship is fine. Your ship is fine. I am quite excited to see it. It looks magnificent.
Right, well, we're still gonna tractor your ship so it doesn't get smashed into bits.
Very, very appreciated. Bit fragile. We kind of rushed the launch.
I gather.
Yes. So, very good. And he closes the transmission. It's like, seems friendly enough.
Yeah, a little weird he didn't want to go directly home, but we'll hold on to the ship for some kind of museum piece or whatever.
Well, certainly, but, at the same time, though, it's like, alien ship. I don't want to see it. I'd want to see it.
Alright, we can go see it. But my point is that I just wasn't going to let it go flying off into space. Like, I don't think it matters if we borrow it for an hour before we give it back.
Oh, certainly. I'm just talking from his point of view.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go to Shuttle Bay 1. Who would like to have the bridge?
I kind of want to see this too. I'm curious.
Larissa raises a hand. It's like, all right, Lizra, you got the bridge. She gives a thumbs up and hops over the tactical station and into the captain's chair.
Kara looks back at her. You're gonna break your neck one day trying that.
Managed so far?
So far.
She gives a wink to Kara. With that, I will give an opportunity for Grimnir or Mary to have any kind of scene or reaction.
Yeah, so I'm curious, where's Mary during all this?
Mary's where you want her to be.
Okay.
It's like during security rounds, inner quarters, in the security office.
Yeah, because had she been on the bridge during all that, that would have been interesting.
She can be called to the security detail in Shuttle Bay 1.
Or to the tactical station, since Larissa's not there.
We'll give that to Bryce.
We do have another security officer on the ship, who's technically in charge.
Also, John. John likes the buttons
forget
too.
about Bryce.
I mean, it's just because he's an NPC and third in line. He's just making sure, everything doesn't explode. Fourth in line, but...
Which is a very worthy job.
Yes, we want Bryce to continue what he's doing right now. Just making sure everything with the ship is okay. We're not, being reprogrammed to, mutiny against the Federation through one means or another. Starfleet has had quite enough of that in its recent history, thank you.
Alright, so Mary's doing security things then. Okay, I just wanted to make sure she wasn't on the bridge during that, because she would have had something to say. So we'll go with Grimnir. We'll say Grimnir's shift at Club 42 is coming to an end, and he's getting ready to go on duty as Starfleet security, what have you. And he's making his way to wherever he's supposed to be assigned to for the day.
Currently, he has been redirected to Shuttle Bay 1.
Alright. That's the level of courage
Someone's
that he has.
Oh, okay. I have to say this, but Grimnir is a single dad of a sheep and working 2 jobs.
He's got his own
Well-
side hustle too, making alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically that's part of the whole bartender thing. But yeah, anyway. So he reports to Shuttle Bay 1. He's got his spiffy security uniform on, his shiny little comm badge, Type 2 phaser at the waist.
Graves has also called down, well, everyone who'd like to come down, essentially, in character. So DB, Chorog, if you want to be a part of this too, just insert yourself as having been called down as just part of the general multicultural initiative. Setza is also there, as well as John. John has a basket of fruit.
Don't let Chorog be there, for the love of God.
Okay, fine. We can have Chorog. Okay, Chorog's coming in on the way mission coming up here.
Gonna
okay.
vibrate the
Trump's
heck out of
currently
shit.
heading to sickbay to get treated by Ged.
Yeah, probably. Alright, so everyone's just in the Shuttle Bay 1 as slowly the golden, spindly, bronzy, goldy, spindly, little warp light ship is being tractored into the cargo bay, or the shuttle bay.
Eli standing next to Graves. It's kinda gaudy.
A little bit, but I mean, better than a brick.
Grimnir, you see before you, lying in, a Dweber construct of some kind. You don't recognize it. You know it's them.
Grimnir comes to a full stop, tilts his head to the side. He blinks a couple times. That's gotta be a coincidence.
The ship is sort of, it's brought in, but it isn't allowed to basically settle in the cargo bay. Tractor beam emitters continue to kind of hold it upright so it doesn't become damaged as it sort of settles down, since it appears to be just a tad fragile. Kind of one of the hatches just kind of pops open with some explosive bolts just kind of flying across the room. Fortunately not hitting anyone. And
The core from the side just kind of sighs, goes over, picks up the hatch.
And the wizened old man pokes his head out the door, and looks like an elf. Unlike quite any elf that Grimnir has seen.
Grimnir blinks again. He's very much got this whole, like, shocked, incredulous, like, I can't be seeing what I'm seeing thing about him.
I kinda wanna roll an empath roll on him.
Go for it.
What be the roll?
Let's go with Command Insight.
Command Insight, so 14. Does the focus technically apply here?
Yeah, probably. 4 successes! Well, you can basically read them like a book.
So yeah,
He knows something.
Eli is definitely picking up the whole Grimnir recognizes not the guy himself, but like he recognizes what he is, he recognizes the architecture of the ship, and he's just very dumbfounded and shocked and just like, what?
Eli sidesteps over to Grimnir. Everything okay, bud? I'm taking that, as not okay.
I don't know.
I mean, it is a very gaudy ship, I will say that. Like, it seems there's something more to this that you know.
I think I know what he is and where he's from. I think. Oh? He looks over at Eli. I think he's from where I'm from.
That's interesting.
Except his people died out a long fucking time ago.
Died out.
Yeah. Like, mass extinction, overnight. Disappeared, never to be seen or heard from again.
Just in the blink of an eye?
Something like that, yeah. He's just, Grimnir's got, he's very much not okay with this.
So the old man kind of hops out of the ship with a little brisk swing of the legs and says, "Ah, yes. I'm Dr. Tamoran, and again, it's a pleasure to meet someone. Though I am still questioning if I have actually died so far, and this is the afterlife, but I should say the afterlife would be more, full of strange temptations and sights and ethereal objects, and this ship seems quite solid indeed. Graves nods and says, all right, yeah, it is. I'm Captain Graves. You are aboard the USS Reliant, and we represent the United Federation of Planets, a united multi-species organization dedicated to science exploration, mutual advancement, and cultural exchange. And he sort of goes through the rounds of like introducing everyone that's there and giving a little bit of a nod to what species to their species. And he kind of goes over to Grimnir and says, and Grimnir is human?
Ish.
Human. He's just staring at the Dwemer like he's very much got a suspicious, not trusting look on his face.
Ah, yes. Grimnir, should say, you look like a figure from our storybooks back when, before the Great Migration, when legend says that we inhabited a world with many different people. Tales, though, can be quite exaggerated, but we believe we came from somewhere else, for we have little paleontological record beyond the life forms that unfortunately went extinct after the Great Migration. But they are mostly slugs, and I regret that we have carried on the honor and legacy and done quite a bit to advance ourselves beyond that. You see, my ship here? This is the Celestia. Grand work. Our organization, the Foundation. It is a similar united front of Dwemer coming up from below to reach for the stars above. Fortunately, certain things happened. We had to launch it well ahead of schedule, but for this opportunity, it's been, again, quite worthwhile. Graves nods. It's like, all right, what exactly pushed you ahead of schedule? It's like, the man comes back of his neck and says, you see, we use, automata to aid us, and they have, well, the ones in the facility, I hope, have, well, malfunctioned. And, well, it's a choice between letting them have access to the Celestia or, well, launching it, and I decided to launch. Oh, the rest of the crew, rest of the facility members escaped. I believe evacuations are underway. I had to focus though. Well, kind of looks a little bit awkward and all right, we'll render assistance if we can on that matter. In the meantime, would you care for a tour of the ship? Dr. Tamarin says, bathroom if you please first. We did not have proper facilities installed. Graves like, all right.
There's a head right over here.
Oh, wonderful.
I was going to say, that's
It's
common
Martin.
for early spacecraft now, isn't it?
Tomorrow nods like, all right, I shall be back, I promise. And he sort of jogs off. Graves turns to the others. Well.
So Grimnir's having a fun day.
Grimnir is just staring where the guy went, just almost glowering.
Grimnir?
Setsa just kind of looks around and says, does that sound like an AI uprising to anyone else?
Graves nods. Yeah, that does sound like an AI uprising.
Shoot.
Yeah. Well, gonna be an interesting first contact.
At least,
Any other thoughts?
At least they're no longer. At least they're post-warp, so we can assist.
Indeed so. All right. All right. As far as robotics go, Setsa, Eli, I kind of want you to take a little bit of point on that matter. Once we start getting a little bit more information on this. In the meantime, I kind of wanted to have security and tactical teams standing by in case we need to launch a mission. And as far as everything else goes, we'll just see how diplomacy fares with Dr. Tamarin here. That all right?
Of course, Captain.
Very good. Bryce chimes in. Well, we got 2 squads ready, but which side should we aid? There's Shark is like, all depends on the situation. Hopefully we can get a peaceful outcome out of this. Certainly recognize AI's independent life, especially with BT-20 on board, and Oakley. And kind of gives Setsa a nod as well, and Setsa slaps up and says,
Oh, I'm in between, but yeah, certainly do my best to help out with things.
Dr. Tamarin comes back, kind of zipping up his flight suit and says, Very sorry. I shall hope this doesn't quite go into the history books.
We don't usually keep a record of bathroom breaks in the history book, so you should be fine.
Setsa begins to raise a hand, but lowers it. Graves says, "All right. Let's see. So I can facilitate, or Grimnir and I can facilitate most expediently for your tour of the ship. But about this situation with your automata," Dr. Tamarin says. "Oh, yes. Hopefully an isolated matter. They're controlled by, well, a local installation. We don't use the general networks. But yes, they started running amok, so to speak. There's a lot of smashing, and they were trying to get to where they shouldn't go. So, I gather that. Do you have any records aboard your ship about what kind of automata these are?" Tamarin thinks like some technical manuals may be included in one of the hard drives. I shall have a look. And he proceeds to hop back into his ship and rummage around for a minute, coming out with a small computer and says, yes, if you can tap into this, there are going to be some schematics on here. Graveson says, all right. He hands it over to Rick here. All right, well, we're touring. Rick, I want you to get to work on trying to pull information from this, learn the full context of the situation.
Rick just sort of nods.
All right, so, let's get the tour underway. And he, Grimnir, and Tamarin head off while Setsa kind of hops over to Rick's here to potentially advise on the AI, while others are free to either prepare for a potential away mission or volunteer for the tour or help out with Rick.
Or if they're
Or
like
go check
Kara,
on Tormund.
they manage to stay on the bridge and don't have to do jack shit.
Exactly.
Daniel has raised his
All
hand.
right. Setsa looks to Daniels.
You know, I did build a few robots back in the day to help me out in space and stuff. So, should I be involved in any of this, or?
You're part of my
Sure.
team now.
You built robots. You've got some experience, and these aren't likely to be like Federation robots, so yeah, certainly.
Cool. I'll go get my suit and just kind of wait for us to go do things.
Eli
Okay,
whispers
so
to
they
Setsa.
head over. Yeah, so what was that? Eli?
I said Eli whispers to Setsa, why does he need a suit to work on robots?
Maybe it's got tools. Tools for robots.
Would he just be able to take the two? I'm not going to question it.
Maybe it's just a Tucker thing, Like, sometimes when I'm doing some difficult math problems, I like wearing a hat. Hats are fun. It can be fun, too.
Fair.
All right, so engineering team. Our momentum level right now, I'm going to say we've got 4 momentum. I think it's 4 rolls, which we far exceeded what I had for difficulty threshold. So, so you've got 4 momentum. Engineering team, you meet up in the engineering lab while Graves is doing the diplomacy, and you're tasked to accessing this alien's computer.
Alright, so while accessing the system, our goal is to determine not only the capabilities of these automata, but the complexity, whether they are merely executing a program or whether there is more under the hood, if they are truly sentient.
Indeed so. And you're also tasked with basically, it's the context of the situation, which would also be sort of like, what is there, like any cultural or political data as well. Like just historical information, stuff like that, where they can really kind of gauge what interacting with Dr. Tamarin's will actually represent.
So, who on my team is an anthropologist? I think we've got at least one.
That might be Setsa. She has a focus in anthropology.
Right, so can you focus on that? We'll try and, once we get the data, that's the first thing we need to worry about. So, Let's try and find a way to access this utterly alien data storage device.
Oh, right, can do. Growl, over here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's try to pull what we can from it. I'll take the robots if you want to take the, yeah, more of the sort of the culture and newscast type thing, if you can pull anything from there.
The feathered alien just kind of nods and hops off. There's a little tonk, tonk, tonk from the caps on his toe claws as he heads off.
So they will do their rolls. Let's see, Grawl. Let's say focus of, let's go with target of 16 with a critical range of 5. This is their wheelhouse. And Setsa will basically do likewise. 2 successes from Setsa. And 2 successes from Grawl. They're able to get quite a bit of intel from this thing. So on the Setsa side, she finds that the robots are basically executing a set of command sequences from a major computer unit. So the computer itself, well, it's a very sophisticated AI apparatus. It's unclear to what degree it's sentient, but at the very least, it's kind of on that borderline, where it's maybe not a generalized artificial intelligence by design, but it certainly has some of those characteristics, which is how sophisticated its more machine learning aspects have just been developed over years and years in handling so many autonomous systems and dealing with all the sort of contingencies that those systems can be placed into. The sociological side holds that the Foundation is a relatively low-key institute on the Dwemer homeworld, which consists of a set of 5 kind of kingdoms. They're all relatively friendly with one another, engaging in a lot of commerce. There's a little bit of resentment around certain merchant guilds, especially those making rival types of robotics. But it does seem like a society that the Federation can have, or in the Alliance more broadly, can have a peaceful contact with. It's not like Dr. Line.
I don't know, you wrote the
What's
script.
the doctor's name? I actually made his name up on the fly. Tomasin? No, it's Tamarin. Dr. Tamarin.
Oh, that doctor. I wasn't sure which one you were going to mean.
Like, I'm a doctor.
That doctor. Yeah, but Dr. Tamarin. And he's kind of just seen as kind of just, like, he's a decent scientist, but he's actually not the star of that Foundation. He's not like, this great, brilliant mind that's held up and revered. He's just kind of like on the side as a just a player in a lot of the collaborations going on at this institution. So potentially him taking the ship was more of an opportunity rather than something that was totally planned. But at the same time, he did not explode, so that's good. So broadly, they've got information on how the robots work, what their parameters are, and sort of like what the structure of that society is. And they relay the information on.
Growl looks over. Well, there's a possibility that he might have used this to advance his own career. On the other hand, that would mean that given that he didn't think there was a way back, he was willing to die to get in the history books.
Yeah, I mean, they were building the ship, and if there's a risk of the ship being lost, yeah, they may not have been able to recover in a while, so it could be like, you only get one shot.
Could be. I just wanted to mention that there's always the possibility that there might have been a personal ambition. Then again,
Yeah.
you kind of have to admire an ambition that would lead to you getting yourself killed. On purpose, I mean.
Well, yeah, on purpose. I don't know about how, my first life ended, but could have been envisioned. Not quite sure.
Isn't it just fate that we were here to save him in time?
Well, yeah, happy coincidence. But, again, I mean, we do have long-range sensors, so anything, in this area, we would pick up pretty well.
Well, if it helps you feel better about coincidences, Doctor, think about the vast majority of civilizations where something like this happens and there's no one to help them, and the guy just flies off into space to die a dark, cold death.
Our initial warp test was unmanned.
You just got to appreciate somebody that's willing to strap themselves into a rocket and just go at it.
John raises a hand and says,
Great grandpappy once, he found a rocket, and it was a big rocket, And he went inside the rocket, and yeah, that's how tardigrades achieved warp flight.
But you guys can. I'm not going to question it. Okay.
I mean, it's slow, but I mean, we did it. I mean, that's what I told Starfleet. Said, oh, we did warp, so you can talk to me.
All right, and we're proud that you guys did it.
Yay! Well, we don't know who built the rocket. We just found the rocket.
Well, you still did it. That's good.
Hey.
I mean, that would have to count for all the species that bought warp technology from the Ferengi.
The list numbers 583.
472 of which have lodged complaints.
All right, so the diplomatic tour is going on just sort of as per normal, and sort of working around to the idea of do we want to assist? And Graves has a sort of a one-on-one meeting in the conference center with the doctor, and with that, I do want to take the opportunity to say, hey, do we need to take a 5 to 10 minute break?
Yes.
I kind of want to make a bag of popcorn, so yeah.
We get back to the USS Reliant, where sick bay. Orog is in a sad state.
Trog is sitting on the bio bed, just holding his gut. Oh. This isn't where I haven't felt this bad since that time on Raptor Prime, where I got shot in the gut. Oh.
Ed just kind of walks over and says, "Yeah, well, you're making a right mess of sickbay. Healthy man should not be able to make that kind of smell."
I'm not exactly a healthy doc. That curry is just not mixing well with the roquette blood pie and the gach and the rach and the tibious claw.
Right. Well, lay down on the bed. And, Gad goes over to the commands for the biobed and taps in a few commands. Right, so I'm going to take all the stuff inside you, and I'm going to get rid of that.
Oh yeah, please do before I upchuck it. Then we really got a problem.
You do that, and I'm getting you a mop. Hold it in for another 2 seconds.
Oh, trust me, if I upchuck it, it's going through the deck plating.
After a moment, there's basically kind of the beam effect that goes across Chorog, and he would feel hungry if he wasn't already feeling so many other things. At that point, Ged goes over to the replicator, replicates basically a glass of pink goo, and holds it up to Chorog. Drink this, you'll be fine, you baby.
Trog sniffs the ominous pink fluid. What is it?
Some old Terran medicine I found in the database. It's good for you.
Trog, at this point, has nothing left to lose, shrugs his shoulder and chugs the glass. Interesting taste.
Well, that's a kind way to put it.
I want to go ahead and have Chorog roll a... what would be a good roll for this? Let's just do a command control roll. Oops. That's another reason I'm doing this. So, 2 successes. You do not become addicted to the medicine you have just been granted. It's fine. It's not as bad as you think, or not as bad as you would have anticipated, but it's not like the best thing ever, and oh god, you have to have more of it.
Like being controlled by Pepto-Bismol, that'd be interesting.
You had to resist the call of Pepto-Bismol. That
So
was the control aspect of that.
We're going from computer games to hokey horror movies.
Well, at least
It
this is
came
White
from the
House, we have to call it
Pepto-Bismol.
stuff.
Alright. So, the Bismol.
Trog jumps off the bed. I feel better now. I think my gut likes me again.
Good. Now go take a shower.
Shower? What's that?
Oh, just
Trog,
get
what-
the hell out of my sick bay.
Come on, the smell's not that bad, Trog says as he walks out.
After he walks out,
Watson.
Ged gets out a thing of tweezers, reaches up in his nose and pulls out big cotton balls.
Back on the bridge, Graves calls a all-senior staff meeting.
Kara shows up and just kind of sits down and says, I guess I count.
Yeah, you do.
Damn it.
Setsa sits next to Kara, just sort of scoots over, and just has a datapad in hand, ready.
Trog saunters onto the bridge into the briefing room and takes a seat.
Eli is sitting Oh, sorry, you first.
Rick enters. He's mainly focused on a data pad in front of him. That's he's doing something with, not writing, but he's definitely interacting with it.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep. Also, Graves has also invited Grimnir and Lieutenant Tardigrade.
Eli sits near the end of the table, near where the captain sits.
Graves says, "All right, well, Dr. Tamarian in Waitley's care for the time being, so we can, well, discuss the situation here.
Is that a good idea?
It's a good enough idea." Graves says, "Talk to the doctor. Got a little bit of an idea for what's happening down there, but could use some corroboration if we pulled anything from the data systems."
Setsa just kind of gets up, gestures to the panel on the wall, and gives a rundown on what they've found so far, which is, the basics of the species they're dealing with, the centralized nature of the AI controlling the automatons, etc.
And, well, being part of an AI conspiracy at a certain point, I think the likely situation we're dealing with is that someone compromised the security systems, or the AI systems, or there was a long-term design defect that caused these kinds of issues. But considering the scale of their society that depended on robotics, kind of thinking the former.
Well, somebody did that on purpose. Doesn't this make this like that old Terran TV show about being lost in the cosmos or something?
Oh, you mean Lost
a lot
in
of those.
Space?
Or Red Dwarf?
Oh, I love Red Dwarf.
Farscape. Actually, no, John says Farscape. He loves the puppets.
Car just looks around. One of those.
It also sounds kind of like what happened to Voyager. Well, at least like getting lost in space, that part.
What about Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Look, I think we're getting off topic here.
Graves says, "All right. Good Doctor said that if we're able to help neutralize the AI systems, it would likely serve as a reasonable entry, because there may be some level of panic going down that way. I also think that, given the kind of confluence of events, we could also be blamed for the situation, so I'd like to keep any involvement that we have for at least our sort of primary concern here a little bit on the down low. So figure covert mission to shut down the AI control systems at the facility that launched their warp flight craft."
Kara just sighs and says, can't shut it down from orbit then. That would have been fun.
I mean, we could technically shoot it down from orbit, but I would rather our first entry into, well, diplomacy with the species not being an orbital bombardment.
Not even targeted?
I mean, it's still something that people might hold as what we might be doing. Or capable of doing. Just...
"Oh, poo," says Kara, although her face is actually completely deadpan.
Graves looks around and says, "All right, well, we can probably scan well enough of the facility. It's just a question of getting to the AI control systems and disabling them. Rick Setsa, I think that would be a reasonable first choice. Grimnir, how are you feeling about this?"
Grimnir!
Grimnir's muted, by the way.
He's dead, Jim.
Might be dead. Yeah. Maybe. Robbie.
You go shotgun.
Grimnir must be down in his vault.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna cut the thing short though, because most of the point here was to have Grimnir go and fight some stuff. So we might call the episode a little bit early, out of character here.
I mean, we were looking at a two-parter anyway, so it's.
This could have potentially been a quick insertion, but we'll see. 20
minutes
anyway.
to 11.
Yeah. So Graves nods and says, "All right, cookies, yay!"
Oh, good, you're not dead.
Everyone's thankful for that. So much to cut out.
Or maybe I'll just leave it in.
Oh no.
Extra special backstage footage.
Okay, he can't hear us.
He's in
Wait,
the other
did he
room
never-
right now. Okay.
Did he never come back from the bathroom break?
Maybe he just went to grab something else. I mean, we were doing just like a conference scene. I didn't necessarily, and I said
Oh,
senior staff. Okay.
We could
He
wait
is having
just to get.
he's
It's a
yeah,
Chorog
he's
moment.
having a Chorog moment.
Hey,
Jinx.
He's using the head at the other side of the conference room.
he's writing a captain's log.
Okay, I think this will cut out.
Okay, good.
So just imagine that one scene from the Naked Gun. With the bathroom break. He's just singing,
Exactly what he's talking
singing
about.
something Nordic. Singing something Nordic. It's like, does he know he can hear us? Anyway, okay, so, starting over. So, you're gonna have a fun point figuring out where to cut that, like, to start the cut on that one. But, Graves says, alright. So, we can probably approach the situation, need to approach the situation carefully, at least in terms of the potential diplomatic entanglements, but I think we can hopefully deal with the situation pretty efficiently. Any thoughts beyond what we've talked about?
Well,
I
if
mean-
it is some sort of, sabotage of the operation, we can offer our help investigating.
John is excited about the prospect of investigating. Nods vigorously.
I'll get the hollow emitter.
We're making first contact. You could just beam down.
No, I meant for. Okay, never mind.
I got that reference. Graves like, we'll have our special investigator on call in case we need him.
Carr is completely lost by all this, but just kind of looks around and says, yeah, okay.
It's a good program. It's got a 5-star review from Kirk and Spock.
Yes, one more thing. Graves says, alright, in that case, we are proceeding at impulse towards their homeworld, so we'll be there in a couple of hours. In the meantime, prep up, rest up as you need, and, get ready for hopefully a relatively smooth away mission.
I could finally test out that new rifle just in case.
People say I'm ready to shoot things.
I mean, you are.
I never denied that.
Okay.
I'll head to the armory to make sure away team weapons are primed and ready.
Are we supposed to keep those in the armory?
That is the point of an
It's-
armory, Bryce chimes in.
I mean, I have my rifle in my room, but it's fine. It's under lock. It's under lock. It's fine.
I'll be sure to check that during
John
the
makes a mental...
next contraband search.
It's not contraband.
John makes a mental note to return the particle cannon he has currently stashed away in one of his lockers in his room. It spoke to him.
Yeah, it made an ominous hum.
It's like, all right, well, there's nothing else. Dismissed, and just be ready to report to transfer report to room 1 in 2 to 3 hours.
Aye, sir.
Couldn't we at least take a shuttle and then I would feel useful?
You can take a shuttle if you want.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, score 1 for me.
Right. Well, if there's any anti-air defenses, just try to deal with that as best we can.
Well, in that case, might as well take my shuttle. It's armed.
Just say, if there's any anti-air defenses, that just means I gotta have fun. You guys better strap in.
Hey!
Are we sure
We
we
go
want to take?
zoomies.
Are we sure we want to take Chorog in a shuttle where we may be doing all sort of flips and tricks after his eventful day?
Oh, no. I'm fine. Get fixed me up real good.
Okay.
He beamed
Nothing
all the
like that.
contents of my stomach out into space. I'm fine.
John looks over to Chorog, offers him a snack, and says,
Banana?
I'll take a banana. I like bananas.
This banana for you.
As Charles just proceeds to just eat the whole banana.
Skin and all.
Just like he eats cigars.
all right. And with that, the crew is ready, or basically they've got a couple hours free. And that, just for the sake of not going over tonight, we'll call that the end of the official content. So, begins the time of miscellaneous scenes.
Alright, in engineering, Rick here is got his pad out. The holographic emitters sort of flare to life as a multi-level, multi-stage sort of terrarium with runs between them sort of materializes into existence. Like a terrarium like right in front of the we'll call one a high level, another just sort of dotted all over the place, decked out with power, with dirt. They each have like maybe one's got this like little like rock hole in the rock wall kind of thing, and others got just a lot of plants. Others just sort of various different styles, different environments, but all basically like temperature, humidity, UV. Some with dark zones, dark and cool zones. Pretty much all very elaborate setup that runs the entire width of engineering.
You have a very happy lizard.
It's not made yet, but that's sort of the design that he's going for in terms of what the space will be when it's done.
Hey, let's see. Anything else for tonight? If that's all for engineering.
I mean, unless this is better for next time when we're all like about to leave on the away mission, I have like just like Daniel like suiting up montage. I don't know.
I mean, you said you were going to go get his suit, so you might as well pay that off this episode.
Okay, so cue action movie suiting up for the mission montage. Daniel putting on the spacesuit, getting multi-tools, strapping them to belts on the outside of the suit, getting a cordless power drill as the heavy weaponry to the I don't know, just science stuff in spacesuit suiting up montage. I don't know.
He makes quite a few jingling and sort of like rustling sounds as like bits of like tools just kind of hang off of him as he's maximally preparing himself. And he may or may not have the idea like I don't necessarily need to pack this heavily, especially as I mean, did they say something about killer robots? There might be killer robots.
That's why he's suiting up with all these tools. It's robot weaponry. He shall dismantle them upon the battlefield.
Just running at them with a screwdriver.
The screwdriver is the scalpel of for robots.
Indeed. John kind of totters over, sees DB putting all his stuff together. It's like,
I'm going to space?
No, John. I'm going to war.
By yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
and he just kind of walks off. The little Klingon in him got excited for a second. And with that, Setsa is in her quarters, kind of going through different types of potential exploration gear. So real quick, Grumpy.
Yes.
We just had a conference room scene, basically setting up, hey, we're going to go try to shut off the robots. And I was thinking about having a short, actual, go down and do that, but people are a little bit tired, and yeah, we can go ahead and just call this a little bit early. So we're in a miscellaneous scene stage, finishing up here, and yeah, that's it. Next time, we will dismantle some robots.
Yay!
Sweet.
Ooh, sleep time. Good night, everybody.
Wait.
Good night, Geraldine.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night!
We're not
Confused.
very confused.
Okay, yeah, sorry folks for sort of the petering out of this one, but yeah, we're playing with, we went from one part to two part. So anyway. Yeah, so Nick and Grumpy, I'll leave final scenes up to you.
Okay.
Setsa was going to do something with Kara with a Nerf gun, but Kara is going to sleepies.
I don't have a final scene, I just have that out of character thing.
See, that's what happened. Kara just wanted to avoid the Nerf gun.
Setsa is at, like, Kara's going to sleep, and Setsa is just sort of like in the corner, just aiming an Nerf gun. And she misses. Alright, so, Near, any final.
So Grimnir is keeping a very close eye on our new visitor. He does not trust him. He is basically if this were a visual medium, this episode would turn into a Spot the Grimnir game, because somewhere on the screen is Grimnir lurking behind a corner, just staring daggers at the guy.
All the man did was exist.
I'm on to you.
Now, here's the thing. At what point is Mary gonna find out about our new visitor?
Whenever she
Yeah,
Because
basically. I mean,
That's
it's going to be
gonna
unchecked.
open a can of worms, because Grimnir still does not acknowledge that his origin is a little wonky in regards to reality. Mary, on the other hand, is very, very well aware, and so this is like, oh.
Yeah, so you can. I mean, if we want, we can play that scene now, or we can lead the next episode with that.
I say we lead the next episode with that.
Okay.
part of
Because
lore
that's the
canon is-
when. Yeah. So, all right then. So, with that scene of Grimnir taking a look at the security monitors, let's call the episode tonight and thank everyone for joining us. Glad to have everyone along with the ride. Best crew in Starfleet, and yeah, with that.
With that, I have an announcement.
Oh yes, very important announcement.
Hey there, viewer. Yes, you specifically, sitting in that chair or
We
standing.
know you're there, Roger.
Exactly, Roger. If you're going to be in Philadelphia, you should go to DNICon, the Galactic Diversity and Inclusion Con. We'll have such guests as Denise Crosby, Robert Picardo, Alexander Sitting, Tim Russ, J.G. Hertzler, John Billingsley, Garrett Wong, Connor Trenier, Dominic Keating, and many more.
Isn't Sean Ferret gonna be there?
No, that recently personal stuff. He like DM'd me on Twitter like, sorry, Nick, I'm not gonna be there. It was very emotional. But yeah, and there's going to be a special performance by Aurelio Voltaire as well.
Yes, and when is this?
It is going to be hold on a second.
I think
know
it
this
was
by heart.
May 2nd
It is
to 8th.
May 5th through 7th. I'm going there on the 2nd because, I'm helping set up things, but the official con dates are the 5th through the 7th. We have, we got a nice, bunch of away missions from different actors that are still not sold out. I'm not a sellout. We got Nana Vizier, Visitor, Fireside Chat with her.
Visitor.
I'm bad at pronouncing things. I barely speak English.
I know we hard, but
Karaoke with Robert Picardo. Acting
Oh my
101
God.
with John Billingsley.
I'm
And Never
so
Have I
jealous.
Ever in 8 Lifetimes with Terry Farrell. Unfortunately, Batless for Beginners with J.G. Hertzler and Robert O'Reilly. That is sold out, unfortunately.
Can we get yeah, it'd be really cool to do a meetup up there. I'm gonna be doing some science that week, but yeah, if you are in the Philadelphia area from May 5th to May 7th, absolutely go to this. It's amazing, and you can check out the. Is it on the Gaze in Space website?
No, it is at dnicon.org. dnicon.org. All one word. You can find it there.
Awesome. Yeah, and then we'll be tweeting some stuff out for that as well. So keep an eye on us. And yeah, with that, again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us. We hope as many people can get out to DNICon as possible. And again, good night, everyone. And we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks here. Let me check the schedule because a couple of weeks may be. That is. We will see you in either 1 or 3 weeks, depending, because that
Not 1 week,
Might-
because I'll still be in Philly.
Okay. Oh yeah. You're leaving it. Okay. So I'm looking at calendar here. Yeah. So 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. If not 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But yeah, we'll see you in some period of time to continue the mystical Dwemer encounter. So with that, good night for realsies.
Oh, actually, one last thing. Don't forget, Reliant at stubbaseugc.com. That's Reliant at stubbaseugc.com for all your email needs.
You hearing this, Roger?
Come on, Roger, do it. Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.